letter to the editor from a neighbor, and a letter that my father, who came in from out of town to support me, they're also in that package.
Okay, Mr. Norton, we don't debate, etc., but we will respond at the end of oral communication. So
thank you.
A few speaker cards, but we can respond in a few minutes.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. That ends. That's the final card for oral communications. Any comments? Everybody has comment. Okay. Start with you, Mr. Draymond. Seem the most enthusiastic.
Yes. Well, first of all, on the issue of Mr. Norton, I'd like to know whether the city staff is looking into this beyond simply we don't know where the water went or how it got off the property, but the meter says it did, so pay up. Where are we with all that?
The city manager and I actually just met with Mr. Steiger. I have to say there is one thing that we all agree on. It is a significant amount of money, and it is inexplicable, or amount of water and money, of course, and it is inexplicable where it is actually gone. So at this point, we are extremely concerned with how this chain of events has come about, because the meter, and frankly, I don't know why we wouldn't necessarily release the testing information. Mr. Howard might address that, but the meter has been tested in a number of redundant ways, and it's actually, unfortunately, simply can't get the meter to fail or to read anything but precisely accurately, which has created a bit of an issue for the department. But we are not resting on that as a conclusion. We are even if we have to reach out to very independent means to come to some type of conclusion, we're not going to rest on this until we have a suitable answer for us. It is a significant issue that we're actually honestly having a hard time explaining.
Here's the concern I have, and this I'm sure this is not the last we're going to hear on this issue, but here's the concern I have, and this is what I'm going to be looking to hear something about. I'm hearing about two issues. There's the issue of the meter and whether or not it failed and whether we could get it to read anything but accurately. That's one issue. And secondly, did he use the water? Because whatever the meter reads, if he didn't use the water, he didn't use the water, no matter what the meter is reading. Now, that's a large amount of water. So, unless there's, I'm going to be looking for some theory as to where the water went. It didn't evaporate, that amount of water. I don't think he was boiling pots upon pots of pasta with it. So I'd like to hear some theory as to where it went. I am hearing that there is no evidence of it cascading down the street. So in any case, I haven't, as one elected official, I haven't made up my mind on the issue yet, but I'd like to hear something beyond just the meter, because the meter and how it reads and whether it's accurate is only one component.
Yes, we will. That is also actually Mr. Steiger's calculations on the number of swimming pools this would fill is similar to what we heard tonight. So again, they made the volume, the enormity of this is not in dispute, and we also want to understand what possibly could have happened to it. So
in other words,
case
if a
is
pipe
not
broke
closed
or
on
something
this. Right.
On the property in the process of construction, we would have seen.
Those would be the obvious
kind of
things that we haven't witnessed. Right.
Okay.
Hey, before you go on, Mr. Draymond, let me just jump in for a minute. I spoke to Mr. Norton in the past. It's been quite a while. I actually drove by his property to take a look at it last month, and you just used the term inexplicable, and that means without explanation, and I find it, another word would be ridiculous, to assume that 1.5 million gallons were used in 64 days. I repeat, 1.5 million gallons were used in 64 days. So whether the meter is functioning or not functioning, I don't know what the details are, and I don't think anyone will. I don't think there's going to be a scientific explanation for this. But I just find it ridiculous, quite frankly. I just don't see how it's possible that this house used 1.5 million gallons of water. So I hope we can come to some determination, and let's move on with it.
Yep, agree.
Next, Ms.
As much as I hate to follow that, I agree about Mr. Norton and his issues. I'm curious about if we could figure out where the water went, because it might save some other homeowner a similar aggravation in the future. But he had an interesting suggestion of a sort of settlement, and I think maybe that's something we should look at. But a fuller report, I'm sure, will be coming, and we will all look forward to that.
Organic rice.
Well, starting with Mr. Norton, hopefully there will be a resolution to the issue, because, like I say, I guess another word you could use would be your concept, common sense. Common sense tells you that 1.5 million gallons in 64 days, and that's a hard one to swallow.